Hey, Steve Ritter here again, Phyllis Stokes on. Welcome back to another episode of. Yes, I'm
not saying it. I'm not saying it.
I'm going to say it. Cooking with a Colonel. So this is along the same lines and the same theme of making your dollar stretch as much as it can. So a couple of videos ago, I had a leftover chicken, rotisserie chicken that we got from a nearby store, and we cooked that down and boiled that down. So we saved the juice. Now what we're going to do today, I'm going to make some chicken and dumplings. And if you, toward the end of the video, you're going to see a link to when my mom made it. I make it similarly. I'm going to just a little bit different, a couple of little different things, a couple of little different twists. But there's a couple of points that she makes that I really like, and I'll do that as well. So we had the rotisserie chicken, which had a meal off that, and then we boiled the leftover pieces and the bits and all, saved the juice. Before I did that, I picked off all the pieces that we hadn't eaten, the big pieces of meat, and that's what I got over here. This is all the meat that we got off of that we didn't eat. So all of that is going to go in here. Now this is the juice right here from the chicken that I cooked. So it came out to probably about four cups. I'd say 4 good-sized cups of chicken stock. Not quite enough for what I wanted to use it for, so I put about 1.5 cups of water in it. And it was frozen. I put it in the pot here. I just turned the heat on low, and I just got a nice little simmering bubble going here. Now on Mom's video, she started from a whole chicken, a whole raw chicken. She cut it up. She put it in a pressure cooker and cooked it with some celery, and the juice from that, the stock from that, she used for her chicken and dumplings. So a little different here is what I've got here is the meat that I have from that. So this is the meat. Hands are clean. Practicing social distancing, right?
Yes.
So, and this, all I'm going to do is just got that up to kind of a low simmer, and I'm just put this meat in here. This is a lot of meat and a lot of good pieces here. But all this is going to go in here. And I've got some pieces here, the bones. I got a leg and there's a wing there, so I'm not going to put that in there because I don't want any bones. And then I've got about two cups of carrots that I'm going to put in as well. And one thing Mom did, and this is kind of what we've learned on the cooking shows we watch, but everyone, and it's a nice touches. Anything really savory like that, it's kind of nice to add a little acid to it. So I got the juice of probably just short of 1/2 of a lemon, probably. Just give it a good squeeze, put a little lemon juice in there. She did that in her video. She said a little bit. So what is that? How much is a little bit? A little bit less than a smidgen. I'm going to call that probably about a teaspoon. Okay.
At least 3.
It's what?
At least 3.
3 what?
3.
3 smidgens?
3 smidgens.
Let's see. Let's just get this spatula. Just kind of mix this around in there. I just return this kind of to a low simmer. Yeah, the lemon, the acid, you can use lemon or lime or some other acid like that, orange juice or something like that. It's kind of it cuts and really brings out the flavor. Now she in hers had picked through and took out all the skin and everything else, and that's what I'm gonna. I don't particularly want a lot of skin in here, so any skin that I see, I'm gonna pick out. It is tasty to eat. Some of you mentioned on the last video also, as I kind of had skimmed off the fat from the stock, and a lot of people had some good suggestions about using that for cooking potatoes or whatever. What do they called it? Schmaltz. I never knew what schmaltz was, but some people call it schmaltz. They cook that like the duck fat. You ever have duck fat fries, Benjamin?
Yes.
Yeah, they're tasty, aren't they? So I'm going to bring that back to a simmer. And in the meantime, now this chicken here, that'll be nice. Save that for later. So there's one more meal, right? now we're going to come back. So there's two parts. There's two parts to this. There's the chicken and the broth part of it, and the things that we're going to put in there. And then there's also the dumpling part. And the dumpling is, and again, I'll put another link for Mom's biscuits, but it's basically the buttermilk biscuits, and that's what she uses. That's what I'm going to use. I'm gonna, based on the size of this pot and how much we have here, that'll probably one meal, maybe lunch tomorrow for us. I'm not gonna make that many dumplings, but what I am gonna do is when I make the biscuit batter, I'm gonna make that, and I'll make some dumplings, a handful of dumplings that basically cover the top of that, and the rest of it I'm gonna put in as biscuits, and we're gonna have biscuits with it too. So, or have that for breakfast or whatever. So the biscuit recipe, I got again a link. I'll have if you go down, if you look at the ingredients and the directions, again as you go down below, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. But you'll see the recipe for the biscuits. So I started off here with 4 cups of self-rising flour, and I'm going to put in a heaping teaspoon of baking powder. That's baking powder, not bacon powder.
Disappointing.
Yeah, no, bacon powder, is that even a thing?
It should be.
Yeah, that's pretty tasty. So a heaping teaspoon in there, and then I've got a stick of butter, which is about 8 tablespoons, and I softened this up really nice. So this is going to just go right in, and I'm going to just kind of scrape this off. Softened it up real nice, and then I'm going to just kind of mix this in by hand. Again, cut it in. Now I like doing that, again, the way my mom originally taught me to do biscuits was to use shortening, like Crisco. I really like the butter now. It really cuts it in nice. And you just kind of work it in by hand. And it goes from a flour, and you can watch the video, mine or the one I made with Bella, or you can watch the one with Mom. But you cut it in until it looks less like powdery flour and kind of starts bunching up a little bit. You see how it's kind of clumping up together a little bit now? It's not like powder. See that, Benjamin?
Yeah.
You see that?
Still looks right.
Yeah. So, and then the butter just kind of cuts in, and it kind of starts clumping up a little bit. Okay, so that's all that's in there, and that's butter, salted butter. So we don't need to add any salt. It does just fine. So it's self-rising, which has baking powder in it also. Although self-rising flour with baking powder, man, that would be, man, imagine those biscuits.
That'd be really good.
Yeah, that'd be good. So again, I'm just kind of making sure that all of the flour here has that in. Now, what I'm going to do now is I've got some whole milk buttermilk, and I'm going to wash my hands here. We're going to go with 2 cups. Now, in Mom's video, she says she likes to make a little stiffer dough. So I'm going to start with 1 whole cup of buttermilk, and then I'm going to go in with probably another 1/3. And see what that looks like as I mix this together. So here's 1 cup. And again, this is gourmet whole milk buttermilk. None of that low fat stuff. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right, I'm gonna just use my hands again here and just kind of mix this in. Again, my hands are clean.
I didn't see you use soap.
I did. I've used it before. What did you? Who are you? The CDC now? Is that what you are?
Yep.
Oh, I
practice quarantine.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I hope everybody's keeping safe out there and washing their hands and practicing common sense. Now you see this dough here. It's still pretty dry. It's starting to mush up pretty good. This is it doesn't stick together, so I'm going to need a little bit more buttermilk here with this, I think. So we got Let's go with like another half cup here. That smells good.
Why don't they serve eggnog all year round?
That is an excellent question. Probably because everybody would be like
And drink
800 pounds.
Yeah, probably. That's true.
I do like eggnog. Just can't have too much of it, you know?
Yeah.
I remember when I was about your age, it was about Christmas time, and I decided we had eggnog in there. I got myself a big, tall, frosty glass and got myself some popcorn and ate that too with it. That does not go with eggnog. All right, so see, this is kind of starting to come together. I'm trying to get all the dry stuff up here. So again, she likes it a little. Probably what I'll do here is so that was about 1.5 cups. Is I'll pull a few of these off now for the dumplings, and then I'll probably add a little bit more buttermilk in for the biscuits. I'm thinking maybe I'll try that and see how that works. So that was about 1.5 cups of. Maybe, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to add a little bit. I'm going to add some more. So let's just stick with the recipe. Go with 2 cups of buttermilk. So we know the biscuits. That's a biscuit recipe. We know that's going to be good. That way we can get it all up. So kind of figuring it up as we go along a little bit, huh?
A little bit.
Experiment a little bit.
Experimentation.
Yeah, so this is going to all mix together now. So this is all. This is all.
Might have been too much.
Too much buttermilk, huh? Now I can add a little bit more flour. Should have stuck with my instincts, huh?
Yeah.
About another 1/2 cup of flour, just to get this dried up some. All right. Now, that's not too bad. It's more like biscuit dough now. All right. So, I'm going to pull a little bit off. Yeah, I'm going to need a little more flour on there, Benjamin. That's just too wet. So, I think probably 1.5 cups would have been fine.
I think so. That's why you stick with your instincts.
Yeah, I think so. This is a little stiffer now. So when I get it, I want it stiff enough so that I can. Now, see, now it's just tough to tell with this. So there goes that dog that rides along and barks. Did you hear him?
Is it the rat?
He just. All right, so get some of this off my fingers. All right, so what we're looking for, I'll do a couple and then we'll come back. So what we're looking for now is, off my hands, is we want to just make some dumplings off this now. All right, so what we're looking for is about a teaspoon size. So what's that? Probably about 1 inch across. So that's about 1 inch right there. About 1 inch across. Kind of roll it up. Just dry it a little bit in flour and then just kind of flatten it some. And that's about what you want your dumplings to look like. So about 1 inch across, roll it into a ball, drop it in some flour, mash it up. So I'm probably going to make about 20 dumplings maybe. You think, are you going to eat any of these?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool.
If it's good.
If it's good, well, there's no doubt of that. So it's already starting to smell good. About 1 inch across, drop it in the flour. Give it a little flattening. I'm going to dry my hands here. Wet hands is not helping things. All right. All right, so there we go. That makes it a lot easier. So just kind of pinching this dough out so it's a little stiffer than probably normal biscuit dough. So you know, lighten it up on the buttermilk a little bit. Drop it in here. Get a little flour on it. Flatten it up. Now the flour coating on it, mixing with the grease and from some of the chicken, is going to make a nice gravy. We want it to thicken up. So we're doing this the whole time. It's kind of over there lightly simmering. So that's the idea with the dumplings. So we'll take a quick break. I'll finish making these, and we'll come back in a second, and I'll show you. Then we'll put the dumplings in, and it's just about ready. So we'll see you in a second. Hey, welcome back. So I finished up the dumplings here. Get a little shot of these, Benjamin. So just nice little flat little dumplings made out of buttermilk biscuit dough. Is all that is. So come on over here. Let's put this in. Now I was sitting there thinking, one thing that I love. Now this smells. You see, I just got a nice little low boil here because I don't want it all splashing out and everything else. One thing, can you smell that?
Yeah.
It smells good. Can you
good.
Smell that on camera? Yeah. Do we have the smell-o-vision button engaged?
Yeah, we have it.
Okay, so you should be smelling this right now. It's just that rich chicken stock smell that we have from the boiled chicken. Now again, I thin mine out a little bit with water just to kind of add a little more to it. You could put a little bit of store-bought chicken stock in there too, whatever. One thing that I love with chicken is thyme. Now I have a little herb garden out front here, and I just cut some sprigs of thyme. I'm just gonna just drop these in there because I love thyme with chicken, and I'm just kind of curious. So this is a little bit of a variation of Mom's recipe. We'll kind of let that get in there and slow cook and get the flavors all going good on that. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a winner.
You gotta cook it for a little bit of time.
For what?
For a little bit of time.
Time?
Yeah.
Do we need more time?
We need more time.
I think that's enough time.
No.
Is that time T-I-M-E or T-H-Y-M-E?
Yes.
Okay. So we got these dumplings. You just lay them in here. We're just going to lay them in. Can you get that? Yes. See that? So we'll put them in, and then eventually you're going to want to make sure that they get all covered up. But I put the chicken in first, and the carrots, and the other stuff in here. Oven's ready. I'm going to cook some biscuits while we're doing that too. The chicken's down below. Kind of hold the dumplings up a little bit, and these will expand a little bit as they cook. Theoretically, the insides will fluff up as this cooks, and the longer you cook this, obviously, the more soaked it'll be. But you know, it's going to be soaked with. You can already see them kind of absorbing some of the liquid and cooking a little bit. So that's probably as much as I want to do. So that was like 3, 4, 7, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. It's 20, just like we said. So some of them, I just want to give them a little tap, get some juice on the top of them. There, so I don't see any flour on there. Everything's looking good. And what I'm going to do is put the top on. And 10 minutes. We'll give them 10 minutes and we'll see how this is doing, and we'll check back in a few minutes. Hey, so it's been about 15 minutes actually. So what we're gonna do, come take a look here. So I had the top on, and while it was cooking, you see the dumplings, of course, just like biscuits, they kind of swole up a little bit there. Cooked up nice. So I can kind of look and see here, and the sauce, you see, it's kind of getting it's the longer I cook it here, nice and slow bubble, it'll eventually thicken up. You can mix a little bit of water and flour together and put that in there, and that'll thicken it up a little bit as well. Or you can just eat it this way. A couple of other variations, you could put some egg noodles in there as well. Maybe, you know, put it over rice or something like that. But I think I'm going to just kind of go, I can't wait, and I'm kind of getting hungry. So I'm going to dip a little bit of this out. So I'm going to take one of these dumplings here and a little bit of the chicken. So it's kind of more like a soup right now. But I'm going to kind of cut into this dumpling and see what this looks like. So
Yeah, you can see the inside there. So it's already kind of cut it open. It's kind of starts soaking it up. So. That's tasty. Benjamin, why don't you grab you a fork and have some? Here, I'll get you. You want to sample it? Try one of those dumplings, see what you think. It's hot.
That's good.
It's good. So I think the chicken broth, the homemade chicken broth that we use to make that really is real savory. It's I mean, it's homemade. It's a lot better than box stock like I've used before, you know.
It's really good.
So it has a nice flavor to it, doesn't it? So
Made with love too.
yeah, exactly. So I think that if we, we could probably cook this a little bit longer. Of course, they're ready now. You could eat it now. You ready to eat now?
I'm
You hungry?
Dumplings, yeah. That's some good.
Yeah, they're good dumplings, aren't they? And we got biscuits going too, so we can dip that in the juice as well.
Yeah, sop it up.
There you go. So that's the dumplings, chicken and dumplings, made just like Mom, except put a little thyme in there. Did we take some? Did we take enough? Do we have enough time?
To cook.
Did we give it enough time?
I think it needs a bit more time to
No,
thicken.
Okay, so that's chicken and dumplings. So again, I've kind of figured some things out with the. Here you go. You want to take this back? You want to eat some more dumplings?
I was
don't
going
you?
for some more. I was going for more.
So I played around with the videos here, so you're going to see links to Mom's original recipe for chicken and dumplings, and you're going to see a subscribe button as well on there, and also a link to her biscuits as well. So check them all out. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I appreciate everything. I appreciate all the support and everything else, and again, all of this, we're keeping the channel going. I know it's been therapeutic for me and for a lot of you. And this is going to also support the charity, the church school that Mom wanted to support. So thanks for watching. And this is the Colonel signing off. Over and out.